Hey guys, I want to show you another take on your traditional 4x6 card today by making these gatefold styles. They're really simple and easy to make, and you need the same amount of cardstock. So let me show you what supplies we'll need and then we'll get started.
So the first thing you want to do is start off with a 12 by 12, or at least have a piece of paper where one side is 12, and then we're going to cut down the other side to 4. If you start with a 12 by 12 piece of paper, this will actually give you 3 cards. And then I'm going to score it at 3 inches in from each side, so at 3 and at 9 on this card. But if you wanted to, you could kind of, get a little creative, go crazy, do 4 and 2. It's really up to you. You might even want to do 4 and 2 to help stabilize any decoration that you put on the outside of the card. So at the end, this will actually measure 4 by 6, just like a standard card. So the next thing that I'm going to do is mat those front 2 pieces, and I'm going to take a piece of scrap paper. And I want it so that, again, it does mat. It's not going to cover the entire outside. So I'm going to cut a piece down to 3 3/4, and then I'm going to cut down 2 smaller pieces to 2 3/4 each. And that will just kind of sit right inside of those front panels, so you can see a little bit of the yellow peeking out from behind. Now once I've got the front of my card matted, I want a piece that's going to unify both sides, and so I'm going to use a piece of this cardstock here from the collection. It's already 6 inches across, so I'm just going to cut it down to about 1 inch, but here I just kind of eyeballed it, and this is going to span across the card, and in a minute I'm going to cut it in half so that the 2 sides can open. But this is going to actually unify both sides and also help stabilize any kind of decorations that I have that are going to hang over the opening, and you'll see that here in a minute. I am going to have some that hang over, and when the card is closed it looks like a cohesive piece across the front, but then it opens and you'll see some of the pieces hang over onto the right side. So I was trying to figure out my sentiment here, and I was having issues with my camera filming as well. So what you're going to see here in a minute is it's going to jump from me putting these letters on this strip to it being completed. But basically I'm taking the word celebrate, and I figured out how many letters I would need on each piece and how to space them out. And what I like about this piece of paper that I'm adding them to is that it has dots and a line, so it was really easy to kind of make sure that everything was in a straight line. So I'm just putting those on there now, and then here's where the jump happens. And ta-da, we have celebrate. And now I'm going through the die cut pack, and I'm trying to figure out what other kind of decorations I want to add to this card. So there was that big gift box right there, and then on the sticker pack there was some other gifts as well, and I thought these would work really well together in a cluster. So that is going to be the focal point of my card. So I'm going to fiddle around with this quite a bit because I wasn't sure if I wanted it to go, behind the blue strip behind celebrate, or between the letters and the blue strip. So I never really push anything down and attach it completely to the card. I just keep moving things around, and what you'll see here is that those presents in a minute are going to overhang onto the right side or the right flap. And I'm going to end up removing the R from the blue strip on the right and attaching it to the presents so that it also moves with the presents. But again, this is why I'm not attaching anything, because I want to see first, where everything is going to sit on the card and make sure that I have all that in the right spot before I really put everything down permanently. And I want to make sure that my blue strips line up all the way across so that it looks like one continuous piece across the entire card. Now you can use a ruler if you like. I would recommend doing that on a card where you don't have a lined pattern like I do on mine. I just got lucky and the card the piece of paper that I had matted the card with had lines on it, so it was really easy to line everything up. So here I am sticking everything down, getting ready to make it all permanent. And then because that R overhangs just a little bit and I'm not actually wanting it to attach to that blue piece, I'm going to take a little bit of baby powder here in a minute. Some people might have the anti-static tools or the things that you use before you emboss to keep everything from clinging, but I just use good old baby powder. I have a huge thing of it, and I use that often to remove the sticky off the back of maybe chipboard pieces that overhang on projects, or really anything that I just need to remove the sticky off the back of. So I'm going to do that here in a minute with the R and that present piece. Now I'm going to add some of the final touches. It was looking a little bland, so I'm going to add another sentiment there that says treat yourself, and there's a little tag, not a tag, a flag that I end up adding on there that is a little bit sticky, and so I'll end up taking some of the sticky off of that as well, I believe. And then I'm just going to go through and add something shiny. I believe I add some hearts or stars here at the end, and that really finishes it off. Now on the inside there is so much writing space, and you can leave this blank and put in your own sentiments, but I'm going to add a sentiment here. This is from a Hobby Lobby sticker sheet. Just says make a wish, and then I'm going to use some of the same stars that I used on the front, the same stars and hearts, and kind of carry that theme over onto the inside. And then this card is ready to go. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and that you'll come back for some more over the course of the next month. I'm going to show you a couple close-ups here of some other cards that I created along with this collection. If you like it, definitely give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.